Hey everyone, it's Sam the Reclaimer developer, and as you can see, I'm a little bit undignified at the moment. I'm in my pajamas. My room's a little bit of a wreck, and I'm without my hat. You can see my wonderful blue hair. But I came across this and I just had to make a response. Now, I know that I said the website was coming and the devlogs are coming back, and they are. I've just taken a little bit of time, just like with the recent life changes, with my wife and I moving, and us expecting our daughter coming very very soon, as in any moment now. I've just taken some time to work on an easy win, something I consider an easy win that I'll be making a video about in the coming weeks. And by easy win, I just mean something I can get knocked out in the next couple of months versus the next couple of years. The project is almost done, and I'll be announcing it here soon. But, so full disclaimer, I'm not a Unity developer. A lot of people use Unity. It's probably one of the most, if not the most, like, ubiquitous game engines that are out there. I haven't touched Unity since like 2014, the better part of a decade. I took a game design or game development course in college, and that Unity is what we used, and I thought it was a fantastic tool. I don't judge anybody if they want to whatever game engines they use. I have said there's a clip of me saying it's whatever gets your foot in the door, it's whatever gets you learning, and it's whatever your path is, that is your journey. More power to you. I just decide to not use prefabbed engines because that's my own personal choice. But when people are like, why would you make a game from scratch when you can use a game engine? And it is this bullshit right here as to why I do that. So let's dissect this a little bit. So, aggro crab. I don't like. I really don't keep my ear, to the ground on like what's going on in the game engine circles because I don't use them. It's just a personal preference. I write my games from scratch. It's not because I'm so much better than people who choose to use an engine. It's just a personal choice. But let's take a moment to read what Aggro Crab said. I'm not familiar with them, but I know they are a studio or project or developer who uses Unity like so many other developers use, because it's an engine with a low learning curve compared to the very steep learning curve of Unreal or other very high-end engines that are out there. But let's take a look at what has happened in the Unity community today. So today, Unity, the engine that they use to make their games, said that they'll be taking a fee from developers for every copy of the game that's installed over a certain threshold, regardless of how that copy was obtained. So, now, think about Game Pass. So, there's a lot of people who pay a monthly fee for Game Pass. They don't actually buy the game. It's hosted on Game Pass, and when they pay a fee and you get access to a bunch of titles on Game Pass that you can install on your console for free. It's like a subscription service that you get all of these games that you can play. So even if someone pirates the game, downloads it on Game Pass or some other subscription service for free, if there's a sale or something like that, that it does not matter how the end customer obtained that game. The publisher of the game still owes a fee to the developers of Unity for every single install of that game. So let's go ahead and keep reading here. So that means Another Crab's Treasure, which is their game that they're developing, will be free to install for 25 million Game Pass subscribers. If a fraction of those users download that game, Unity could take a fee that puts an enormous dent in our income and threatens the sustainability of our business. So it's not enough that people bought the game and it's like, okay, it's fair that it's like, okay, you use our tools, we just take a small commission of the income you bring in that the game actually makes. But now they're saying you owe us because people downloaded and installed it. Let's say if I make a game completely for free and I post it on Steam and I'm like, hey, this is free to play, I'm already in the negative because I owe Unity a fee for that. I mean, I'm assuming that's what this means. And so let's just keep reading. So, and that's before we think about sales on other platforms, pirated installs, or multiple installs by the same user. So, like, let's say if a user downloads it and they have, like, they're like, hey, this game is really cool. I'm going to share it with my friends and family. They share it with 10 friends and, their spouse, their kids, their cousins, whatever. They play it. The maker of the game also owes Unity for that. And that puts countless studios in a position where they may not be able to justify using Unity anymore. And if those changes aren't rolled back, they'll be considering abandoning the wealth of Unity experience they've accumulated over the years and starting from scratch in a new engine. And this line right here, I fucking hate it here. And that has been sort of my anthem, and the anthem of a lot of people who've sort of gone against the grain. I would say it's just we fucking hate it here. Why would you not use a game engine? This is why. You have no control whatsoever, and it's not limited to games. There's a lot of other tools out there. I mean, like, it seems that developers and people who use software like this just absolutely get shafted for the crime of just wanting to create things. And therein lies the problem. You just don't own anything anymore. I remember back in the day when, Photoshop cost an exorbitant amount of money. I don't know what exorbitant amount was back then, but it was back when it was before I had a steady stream of income, and it was a very expensive product at the time. But you downloaded it, and it was your copy. You can use it for whatever you want. If you choose not to update to the latest version, it is what it is. So you can see from my desktop down there that I have the Adobe Suite installed on this machine. Because I use the Creative Cloud, it's like I pay a monthly fee for these tools, and at any given point, Adobe could choose to change their price model, or for whatever reason, they get some kind of a message or flag or something that says I use their products in a way that they did not intend for their end users to use, and they just kick me off from their subscription service. It's like, what the likelihood of that is slim, but compared to the chance, like the absolute zero chance that would happen with a software product that I own, that I've installed and I don't need to be updated anymore, it's a lot more likely than today's age that'll actually happen. And so when it comes to using game engines, I sincerely don't want to hear the argument anymore that, like, yes, it's like, why would you reinvent the wheel? I am not the one reinventing the wheel. The people who like to write software and write good software, we're not reinventing the wheel. These people are. These are the people who are like, let's take the concept of ownership or sane subscription models or commission-based models, just turn it flat on its head and absolutely kill our customer base. It's like these companies are just absolutely committing mass suicide, and I don't know if there's any. I know that's kind of a strong term, but I can't think of another way to put it. So, it's like, If anyone wants to know why I choose to do the things that I do, case in point, is because I like having control over what it is that I do, and anyone who thinks that I'm not would like to change the model of the way that I do things can go pound sand, because I don't care. Because at the end of the day, when you use tools that you don't own, you are beholden to whatever changes that that company puts out. And again, I do not judge anyone who chooses to use Unity or Unreal or Godot or CryEngine or what, there's plenty of incredible products out there. They look beautiful, they perform very well, and they create products that we all know and love. And, there's nothing wrong with that. But soulless companies are going to do soulless company things. And it's only a matter of time before, you as an end user feel the sting of not being able to use a product the way that you actually want to, because you don't own it and they can do whatever they want to with it. The reclaimer is mine. I own it. It's like it's not like I own C++ or anything like that, but it's like no one is going to charge me every time that I use the C++ compiler. Microsoft, don't get any ideas. I'm this close to not being a Windows developer anymore. Don't give me any reason to switch to Linux. So, yeah, that's about all I have to say about that. So, thanks for tuning in. Sorry for the rant. And I guess I'll see you all in the next video.